Yo, before the video starts, I just wanted to let you guys know that I actually released a new t-shirt today. You can check that shit out at teespring.com/Haydunn. It comes in white or black, and you can get it in like a bunch of different kinds of shirts and like tank tops and sweatshirts and stuff. So if that's something that you're into, go for it. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have an oldie but a goodie. This is a match that I had saved on my 3DS for a little bit of time. I actually decided to upload it now because it's actually an extremely good match, and we use some pretty random Pokemon, but let's basically just get it started. He's going to be leading off with his Roserade, as I lead off with my Salamence, which is basically a Flygon, you know the drill, and I honestly knew he was going to lead off with his Roserade, so I wanted to just get a Choice Scarf U-turn off on the first turn. So I do get that off, and it does about half, and I'm like, oh right. And I'm actually afraid of the Sleep Pattern on this turn, so I decide to go into Muck, and Muck can actually take any attack he wants to throw at me. It's a pretty good counter. So he actually ends up going for the Sludge Bomb on the first turn, revealing to me that he is a Life Orb, and I was like, alright, Mr. Roserade, I see you working there, bro. Fortunately, Muck is actually a really key player in this match, so I have him out here. He actually just decides to switch into his Umbreon here, as I tried to go for the Ice Punch, thinking that maybe his Roserade would stay in and try to go for a Sleep Powder, and if it missed, it would get fucked up by an Ice Punch. So that's why the Ice Punch hit that Umbreon there, and this Umbreon actually turns out to be one of the biggest problems ever. So he goes for the Substitute here, as I realize he probably doesn't have anything to hurt me with. So I pretty much have no problem here staying in with Muck, considering I can get the Poison Jab Poison off on this thing, which would be really nice. I realize that this thing does have the Synchronize, but he wouldn't be able to Synchronize me because I'm also poisoned. So I'm actually just going to stay in here and do that. He goes for the Wish, which is a nice play on his part because, as you'll see, the Poison Jab is going to do a decent amount of damage, and I do actually get the Poison Touch on the first try, and I was like, hell yeah, that's my Muck right there. The Synchronize does not affect me, and I feel like I'm in a pretty solid position here. He does have the Wish up, so he is going to get a lot of HP next turn, but my Poison Jabs are doing a decent amount of damage, and I realize he still is unable to really hurt me. So I can actually stay in here and start setting up curses if I really feel like it, but now I decide to switch. I bring in my Octazooka, which is my Octillery carrying the Assault Vest, as he actually just stays in and goes for a Substitute, so he's going to be able to get his Wish next turn, which I'm not really too worried about, considering he is poisoned and he's going to be taking that damage and stuff. But this Umbreon is actually looking like more of a problem than I had originally assumed. I think I actually switched in Octillery predicting the Golem to come in, trying to get some Stuff Rocks up or something. He goes for the Heal Bell here, which is really shitty for me because I was like, fuck, I forgot Umbreon's carry Heal Bell, and now he isn't poisoned, and he's behind a sub, and a Surf is not going to be enough to take out that Substitute, and Octillery is basically in a shitty situation here. So I have to switch. I decide here to go into my Flygon, just because I know that I can take any attack this thing wants to throw at me, and then I can go for the U-turn and break the Substitute. From there, I honestly don't really have much for this Umbreon. I just really got to try to like whittle it down, but it's actually going to be really difficult. So I get hit with the Play Rough. It's going to do a lot of damage, but I live it. And as long as Salamence has a decent amount of HP, I'm pretty solid. So I go for the U-turn. It is going to break his sub, as now I'm going to be able to go back into my Muck, considering Muck was like my original matchup against this thing, and he didn't really have much to do up against it. So he's just going to stay in and go for a Wish just to be annoying with his Umbreon. And Muck is actually just looking pretty solid over here, and I realized that I was like, okay, you want to play the stall game, do you? So I just decided to go for a Curse, as he's actually going to switch into his Jaws, which is the Mawile. He's going to get the Intimidate, which is really a bummer, as I get a Curse up, which is going to negate the Intimidate fall. But I'm honestly not too stoked about being in here because I don't have much against this Mawile. But now I'm going to have to switch. I go into Teddy Milk, considering he's probably just going to be able to hit me hard with a nice little physical attack. He goes for the Iron Head, and Teddy Milk like didn't even feel that shit. He's like, wait, what just happened? Did something just scratch me? I don't even know. Titty Milk basically don't give no shits about this Mawile, as he's going to switch into his Paw here, and I was like, great, he even has a Paw, so there's just another difficult-ass thing. Between the Paw and the Umbreon, this guy's got some bulky-ass Pokemon, which I don't have much against. So I try to go for the Body Slam, just basically get the Paralyze if it would happen, but it doesn't, and now I realize I can go into Octazooka. He's probably just going to go for the Scald. He does go for the Scald, and I actually get the Burn, which I was like, fuck, come on, Octillery. What's your deal, bro? You, like, live in water. Come on, you can't just take some hot water? Like, shit, bro. I actually now switch. I predict him to go into his Goodra, as I now bring in my Salamence, as he actually does go into his Goodra. It was either Goodra or Golem that I thought... No. It was either Goodra or the Umbreon that I thought I was going to go into. I actually just stay in and go for the Earthquake. I really did not have a switch against this thing. I should have gone for the Outrage. I just went for the Earthquake. I get a critical hit and it doesn't kill it, and then he's able to go ahead and kill me with the Draco Meteor, and Salamence is not looking too swell over there. So he dies. The Goodra is going to lose his special attack and stuff, so now I'm actually able to bring in 50% Shark, who can revenge kill, and he actually doesn't have a switch, so he just lets the Goodra die to a nice little crunch. He does get the Gooey, which is going to lower my speed, which is kind of funny because I actually do have speed boost, so it's like back to normal now at this point after I get the speed boost. I actually do really want to save my Sharpedo for later, considering I noticed that it does have a pretty decent edge over his team. He brings out the America, and I'm like, America, fuck yeah. As I go for the Protect just to see what he wants to use, as I noticed that he does go for the Leaf Storm. I could have stayed in here and perhaps gone for the kill, but I actually just wanted to play it safe. I go into Sup because I know I can basically just absorb any attack he wants, but he predicts that. He makes a nice prediction and goes into his Jaws as I send out my Muck, and now he has a pretty solid matchup. He gets the Intimidate, he's able to scare me out with some physical attacks, and he basically knows what's going to happen. Titty Milk's going to come out again and just wall some shit up. So he goes for the Iron Head again, as Titty Milk really does not feel that again. So Titty Milk's pretty solid over here, and I don't have much to do against this Mawile. My only attacking move is Body Slam, but I do go for the Thunder Wave just because I want to get this thing as slow as possible, and then perhaps get some Parahacks. So he actually does get the Parahacks on the first turn. It really didn't matter, but it actually would have been nice to see what he was going to go for, considering I don't really know what kind of moveset this Mawile does have yet. I haven't really battled against many Mawiles that don't Mega Evolve and shit, but now he's going to switch as I bring out Octillery. I'm like, Octillery is a pretty solid switch here, as he switches into his Golem, and I was like, yes, perfect, good shit, Octazooka. I go for the Ice Beam. I know that this thing usually carries Sturdy, as the Ice Beam is going to knock it to 1 HP, but he shows me he has the Focus Sash, so I was like, why would you have Focus Sash on Golem? But then I realized that there's other ability options like Rock Head or whatever the hell Golem gets. He takes that opportunity to get up his Stealth Rocks, which was a pretty nice play, but Octillery is just going to stay in and go for another Ice Beam and kill the Golem. But now he has rocks up on his side. Golem didn't really get to do too much except for set up the rocks, so that's pretty nice for me at least. Octillery got a kill too, so that's a plus right there. Now he brings out this asshole of an Umbreon again, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do against this damn Umbreon? Literally all I can do is send in Muck. Muck can basically wall it, and if I get enough poison jabs off on it, I could perhaps kill it. And I know that one of his attacking moves is Foul Play, and that actually will do a decent amount to me, which kind of sucks. But whatever. He sets up a substitute as I switch into Muck, and he's now just going to go for the Foul Play. He doesn't want to fuck around and go for any wishes yet, and the Foul Play does a decent amount as I just go for the Poison Jab to break the sub. So I really don't know what this Umbreon is going to want to do. Like I said, the good thing is, though, that he can't really touch my Muck. And if Muck really wants to, I can actually set up some sweet curses and all that kind of jazz. But he does still have that Mawile, so I don't really feel like doing that yet, as now I'm going to switch into Octazooka. I think I actually predicted a switch here, which is kind of a bummer, because he just stays in and goes for a substitute, and I was like, fuck! I am getting outplayed as hell by this damn Umbreon, and this is the part of the battle where it actually gets quite stally. Octazooka is going to go ahead and take a burn damage, as he's just going to get up a Wish. And I was like, fuck, now next turn he's going to be back at full HP, he's going to be able to set up another substitute, and the worst part is that I can't even break his sub. I just went for the Fire Blast there just to see what it would do. I just kind of wanted to see the Fire Blast animation. Either way, it wouldn't have broken the sub, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Octazooka is going to die, as now I have to send in Titty Milk, and Titty Milk was, I'm not actually sure why I sent in a Titty Milk. I guess I kind of just figured I could break the sub easy with Body Slam. Maybe, honestly, just get some Body Slam damage off in this thing. And I know this Foul Play really won't hurt me too much. Considering I have the leftovers, it's going to take him like a shit ton of Foul Plays. And I also have Milk Drink. So he can sit here all day and try to Foul Play me. He can go for the Wish all damn day. I can Milk Drink all damn day. So basically, we're at a nice little nice little stall action going on right now. I go for the Milk Drink as gets me to fold, just to show him that he can't really get far with that Umbreon. I'm basically trying to force a switch. He does go for the Foul Play again. I get that leftovers, and he realizes that that Foul Play is ending up doing like 20 damage. So I actually just stay in. He's not going to switch yet because he does have the substitute up, so I go for the Body Slam. It is going to break the sub, as he actually just stays in and goes for another Foul Play again. So I was like, this is actually pretty fine, because Miltank is not really too scared of this situation at all. I can actually go for the Thunder Wave here. I just went for the Thunder Wave because I wanted him to be paralyzed, maybe get some Parahacks. I know that the Synchronize would transfer, and I'm completely fine with that because I actually do have the Heal Bell on my own Miltank. I know that he's got the Heal Bell, but I would rather have him waste a turn using Heal Bell than just kind of proceed to substitute and just Wish and all that kind of stuff. So if he does want to get rid of that Paralyze, he's going to have to go for the Heal Bell. I go for a Body Slam, which gets a critical hit, and it did like nothing, and I was like, well shit, as he sets up another substitute. So Titty Milk is kind of screwed over here. I don't really feel like going for the heal belly quite yet because he can go for it himself. My main priority is basically just to get rid of that damn substitute. I realize I'm just going to go ahead and switch. And I'm like, you know what? Muck still has the damn advantage against this thing. So I'm just going to bring out Muck because I want Muck to be able to get as much Black Sludge health back as possible as he gets paralyzed on that turn, which is really nice. He's probably trying to set up the wish behind that, which is kind of a bummer for me. I go for the poison jab here. It is going to break the substitute, and I'm able to see what he is going to go for. As he says subs breaks, he's going to go for the heal bell. He does get rid of his paralyze, which is fine because that is actually what I really wanted him to do there. He had to waste a turn, get rid of that paralyze. Now I have a free turn. I'm weighing my options, and then I notice on my team that I still do have a full health Magmortar with Focus Blast, and I realize Focus Blast probably wouldn't be able to kill it, but I'm just going to go for it anyways. I'm going to switch. I'm going to go into Cannons. Cannons is going to take a foul play, and he's going to get some decent damage off on that. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I ran a damage calc, and I realized that Focus Blast at this health is not going to be able to kill it, but it's going to knock it to the point where I might be able to kill it later. So I do hit the Focus Blast. I probably would have punched 3 babies in the face had I missed that, but it actually knocks it down to the point where it looks pretty killable, as he's going to go for the foul play and kill Magmortar, which is fine because you do have to make some sacrifices if you're in a situation like this. So now I'm able to bring in 50% Shark. I realize that a Waterfall is going to completely demolish this thing, and then I do not have to worry about the damn Umbreon anymore. So Waterfall is going to come in, smack him right in the stupid Umbreon face, and that is a dead little black Eevee thing. So I'm going to get the speed boost, and I'm looking pretty solid over here with my Sharky. As he brings out the Mawile, and I really thought the only reason why he would bring out the Mawile is to get the Intimidate also, but basically because I thought he had Sucker Punch, and I wasn't really wanting to risk Sharpedo taking a Sucker Punch. Like I said, I really want to save that Sharpedo for later on in the match to be able to get like a late game sweep. So I go into Titty Milk knowing he can't really hurt me, as he actually makes a nice prediction and goes into his Roserade here. And this is kind of a shitty matchup for me because any special attack in Titty Milk is going to get completely demolished. So I do still have Muck around. I know he's probably going to go for the Leaf Storm, as Muck is going to be able to take that quite nicely. And then he actually goes for the Synthesis. And I was like, Jesus, how many Pokemon on your team can heal themselves? This is terrible. This is actually a pretty interesting match, I thought, though. So he's actually just going to switch. He goes into his paw, which is kind of nice. He actually predicts the Ice Punch there, I believe, as I just go for the Curse. And I'm like, okay, now that I have that damn Umbreon kind of taken care of, I really realized I do have to still kind of worry about that Mawile, but I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start setting up some curses anyways. With the +1 Poison Jab, it is going to do a decent amount to Paul, as I get the Poison Touch, exactly what this Muck is built to do, and I was like, hell yeah. As he goes for the Scald, it's not going to get very much damage off on me, and it doesn't get the burn, and I was like, thank you, God. Thank you. I am able to go for another Poison Jab if I feel like it. I actually go for the Ice Punch, predicting the Roserade to come back in, and it wasn't really that bad of a play, considering that the Poison Jab wouldn't have killed it anyways, and this Paul is, at this point, pretty killable. So Muck does actually die, and that's kind of shitty for me. Seeing Muck go down is never a good sight. But now I'm able to bring in 50% Shark. I can go ahead and crunch this thing to the face, and that Slowbro is not really digging it. So Paul is going to die, and both walls are taken care of. So I'm in a pretty good situation here. I just need to conserve my Life Orb damage on 50%. Now he's going to switch in his Roserade, and I was actually kind of afraid of dying, but then I realized that a Crunch actually one-hit KOs this thing with a Life Orb. So I was like, hell yeah, Sharpedo, bite that shit. I should have named Sharpedo Suarez. That would have been hilarious. Biting motherfuckers all over the place. But now he's going to bring out Jaws. With his Roserade dead, he actually probably didn't expect that to kill. I honestly didn't either until I ran like a crunch damage calc, and I was like, holy shit, that was pretty badass. Good shit, Sharky. You know, I actually think the damage calc said that it was like a 97 to 110% chance to kill it. So that thing could have potentially lived with like 4 HP, but it didn't, and I was like, thank you for getting max damage. I love you, Shark. So he's not going to go for the Sucker Punch on Miltank, as that is definitely going to knock me down to 2 HP with a critical hit. And I was like, holy titties. I should have gone for the Milk Drink there. I just went for the Body Slam to try to get the try to get a little damage and then a Paralyze. But then I realized that was a stupid play, and I was like, fuck. But he goes for the Swords Dance now, as he's starting to realize that he can't really touch me. I get a pretty clean Milk Drink off there. I was not expecting to be able to get that. But now that since this thing does have the Swords Dance up, his attack is to the point where Titty Milk is afraid of it finally. So he goes for the Sucker Punch here, as I go for the Thunder Wave. I thought he was going to go for the Sucker Punch, considering that it almost fucked me up last time. I was like, you know what, maybe he's going to go for the Sucker Punch. I go for the Thunder Wave, which was a nice play because he did try to Sucker Punch, And I'm in a good position because this Mawile is slow as hell. And now I'm just basically trying to get it to the point where Sharpedo can come in and kill it. That actually is quite a gamble though, because he does have +2 and a Sucker Punch. And that will definitely be able to kill my Sharpedo if it hits. But thankfully, since he's paralyzed, there is a pretty good chance that he will get paralyzed on that turn. And then I can win. So he actually does end up killing my Miltank. Now I gotta bring in Sharpedo. Moment of truth here, as I just go for the Protect, seeing what he is going to do, as I believe he actually goes for the Swords Dance, and I was like, oh shit, so he's just Swords Dancing. He can Sucker Punch at any time here. I think actually on this play, he predicts me to go for the Protect again or something, as I just go for the Earthquake, as he doesn't Sucker Punch, and that is going to kill the Mawile. So, who would have known if he would have gotten paralyzed trying to Sucker Punch me there? But that was a really intense match, and Sharpedo came in pretty clutch there. So, thank you guys for watching. If you really enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up button. It helps a lot, and